But I'm sure you know, my grandfather is well known for all of the music chesed he does, and my grandparents too. I even learned Torah with my grandfather. After all, it was in my grandfather's house about 20 years ago and 51 weeks ago where I had my bris. Most of you people keep on telling me today they remember me when I was this size. However, I don't really remember that, and I don't know if I was that size. But I'm sure you remember it, and whoever was there. And as you remember, my grandfather was a Sandik, which according to Kabbalah is remembered by Sandik, which according to Kabbalah stands for a Makdir Ktor, if you learned is well known for Gemach. And I also remember, I don't remember personally, but my father remembers, you said, Shem Shenichnas Al-Brit, Ken Yikanas HaTorah U'Ma'asim Tovim. Well, I'd like to add today, my bar mitzvah day, Amen Ken Yiratzon. Thank you.
Dovid. of greeting to the Bar Mitzvah boy from his uncle in America. On this side, my friend Chaim.
There's Dovid.
Maybe I wanted to say that it's been almost 17 years since I've been at a Simcha made by Shira and Josh, since Dovid's Pinyin Aben. And since then I've missed Dovid's bris and Basal's bris and Yehuda's bris and Shmuel's bris and Dovid's bar mitzvah and Harry's Dash's bris.
And Moshe's bris.
Oh, Moshe's bris. Well, that was last year. And so I have a lot to make up for. I just wanted to say a word from the Siv. At the end of the Tzaveh, when we're given the description of the Mizbeach Torahs, the Torah also describes how the Mizbeach is used. And it says, "V'hiktiro of Aaron K'torah Samim b'boker b'hetivos es haneros yaktirena, u'b'halas Aaron es haneros ben harbayim yaktirena." So the Torah does two things. First of all, it ties the bringing of the Torahs to the lighting and cleaning of the menorah. And secondly, it seems to say that the Torahs is brought first in the morning and second in the evening. According to the Gemara Menachos, though, it seems that at least in the Chinuch of the Mizbeach, with the Torahs, that starts at night. That started at night. And the Gemara derives this from the fact that the pasuk Behetivos Haneros, that the pasuk says Behetivos Haneros, that Aaron could not have cleaned out the menorah in the morning had he not lit it at the night before. So the Gemara seems to give no weight to the fact that the sequence given in the Torah is the opposite: day first, night, and then night. The Netziv, and it's the same Netziv that Dovid brought, asked how this could be so, how the Gemara ignores the sequence given in the Torah. And the Netziv further asks what the relationship is between the Ketaras and the Hadlakas and Atavas Haneros. Why are they so intricately tied to the extent that in the morning first you clean out, you're medashing 5 of the Neros of the menorah, then you do the Ketaras, and then you come back and are medashing the other 2 Neros of the menorah. So the Netziv ties all these questions to the deeper inner meaning of the Neros and the Ketaras, respectively. The underlying meaning of the Neros is to provide Bnei Yisrael with the zchus for learning Torah in depth, pilpula shel Torah. But Netziv in the beginning of the parasha at great length shows how this is so, that whatever special zchus we have for learning ba'amkus comes from the Neros. And as Dovid mentioned just before, the zchus of the Ketaras is for Gemilas Chasadim. And the connection between the Neros and the Ketaras is a very simple one, according to the Netziv, at least initially. That in order to be able to devote a life to Torah, to pilpula shel Torah, to learning Torah in depth, you need Gemilas Chasadim. You have to have a living. As the Netziv says, "Lahasir maso parnasa v'chol tzorach meha'amal b'Torah." That you have to have means through others, through Gemilas Chasadim, to be able to devote your life to Torah. So then that's how initially the two are tied together. This explains for the Netziv why, on the literal level of the Psukim, the Ketaras of the morning is presented first, before the learning which is associated at night with the nighttime. That you have to have the Gemilas Chasadim of the morning before you have the learning of the night. Now, so far this is pretty simple, at least for the Netziv. But the Netziv takes it one step further. He brings a Gemara in Sukkah, which quotes a pasuk in Zechariah, "Ziru lachem tzedakah v'kitzru l'fi chaser." And the Gemara says, "Im adam zareya safek ochel safek eino ochel." When a man plants, it's questionable whether he will get to eat or not get to eat. Adam kotzer vaday ochel. But when a man reaps the harvest, he certainly will eat. And Rabbi Elazar says right there, Amar Rabbi Elazar, "Ein tzedakah mishalemes elo l'fi chesed sheba." That there are 2 levels of Gemilas Chasadim. There's tzedakah, and there's chesed. And Rashi makes a distinction. He says, "Hanesina hi tzedakah, v'hatareach hu chesed." The plain giving, writing a check for tzedakah, that's tzedakah. But Gemilas Chasadim, the chesed, is the toreach, the work. Kagon malicho beso, if he takes food to an ani's house, o toreach shetalo laharbek, kagon nothing less lo fasafuya, if he gives him baked bread, or beged lubash, or made clothing, or amos beis shatfua mitzuya, or if he gives him money when tavua is found, or is available. Shelo yotzi ma'osav liibud shenosin libo b'daito l'tavasa shalani. That he gives his heart and his mind to the tova of the ani. So this is how the Netziv explains the sequence given in the Gemara for the Ketares and for the Ketares, the night of the night first. The order of the Pesukim shows us that even our Gemilas Chasadim have to be guided by Torah. That when we come back in the morning to do our Gemilas Chasadim, we have to learning Torah all night. Then it goes from plain tzedakah, plain writing a check, to chesed, to the higher level of really giving daito v'libo to the chesed. My father said it, and I believe Josh, in preparing the speech, helping Dovid prepare the speech, also recognized this attribute of chesed in Dovid. When I know of him, like my father said, he's Malay Chesed, and fortunately he's also becoming Malay Torah. He's been making a siyum on Maseches Brachos Sunday, Yitz Hashem, and he's infusing his Torah with Chesed and his Chesed with Torah. And I believe that he gets this from his parents, who are leading a life, Shir and Josh, of Chesed and Torah, and coming back every morning, baboker, of growing every day in both Torah and learning and in actions. And I hope Dovid continues this tradition, and I'm sure he will. This is just one more thing I wanted to say, and I've been saving this since Vayeshev. In Vayeshev, it's not tied into this week's parsha, but who cares? Vayeshev, still allowed to say it. Vayeshev, the pasuk says by the Ma'aser Veishas Potifar, it says Vayonas Vayetze Achutza. The Medrash that says Hayam Ra Vayonos, when the Yamsuf was split. What does it mean? Hayam Ra Vayonos Mara. What did the sea see? Ra Arona Shel Yosef. Ra Arona Shel Yosef. Shenemar Bo Vayonas Vayetze Achutza. That it said that in the schus of Yosef, running out of the Beis Potifar, that Yisrael was nigal, that Yisrael was zochet to have Kriyas Yamsuf. The Pachad Yitzchak, this is what I heard in Parshas Vayeshev, relates this also to the other Hachutza, the Hachutza that we find in Lechacha by Vayotze Yosef Hachutza, in the Bris Ben Absarim, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Abraham that about the Golos, and he says that the Zechus that Bnei Yisrael have to be successful in the Golos comes from Yosef, comes from this, Vayonas Vayetze Hachutza. The minute I heard this, I thought of an incident that I know probably my entire life. It goes back to my father's early years in Hartford, where he went to public school in Hartford and had to be in a class where it was Rubo Akum, and had to have friends that were that way. And he went to an ice cream parlor with them. And they sat down, and this one's having this, and this one's having that. And it comes to him, and he said, I have to go to the bathroom. And he goes to the bathroom, he runs out the window, and Vayonas Vayetze Achutza. And I believe and that's part of the schus that I think we Finkelsteins have. The separation of ourselves, we're Amerikanische Yidden, and we separated ourselves from the American culture, and that's part of our zechus, part of the same zechus of Yosef, of Vayonas Vayetze Achutza, comes from that. And I also want to say, and it occurred to me at the same time that, I always remember, even before I knew Josh and before Shira knew Josh, I always remember that there was a Yid a group of Yidden who, before it was fashionable, before there were hundreds of people learning in Beis Medrash every night, Mr. Daniel was one of these people who was sitting and learning in Shomer Emunah with his chevra. And I remember, before we knew the families, Mr. Daniel always separated himself and set himself apart from the trends of America and even of modern Orthodox Jews who were living in Borough Park at the time, and always made Torah the central focus of his life. And I think that Dovid and all of Shir and Josh's children have this zchus on both sides of Vayans v'yetzi achutza, and you may. I don't want to get political, but obviously I think we're in Gullus, even in Eretz Yisrael we're in Gullus.
Yeah.
I mean, well, anyway.
Political. You said political.
You have the schus of grandchildren. You have the schus of grandparents who have always been able to separate themselves from the Hevlei Hazman and from the whatever were the current trends. And involve themselves in Torah and Mitzvahs, and I hope that you will continue that tradition.
Chaim.
Thank you. What? That's a well, it's Grandpa, we need you. Daniel?
Oh, Grandpa, that's me. Hey.
זה סבב סבתא השני.
כן. אני השני. אוקיי.
יחד עם החתן.
יחד.
אחר כך אחד אחד. אליי.
Watch him.
אני.
Tell me when.
היי, מייקל.
נבין. יחד. אוקיי. אתה הגדול, יפה. ואתה מול את כל השד.
רגע, יש לנו ספוצה כאן.
יש חוצה, נכון. אני יכול לחתוך את זה אם את רוצה. בסדר? יופי. כולם אליי.
Shmuel, don't touch him. Shmuel, move back. Nobody will touch him.
I know you have